Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who finds out his girlfriend isn't truly his. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. I've been living with my girlfriend for over 2 years now, and we've dated for about 6 years since we met in college. We've both been out of college for roughly 2 years now, and one of my friends who moved out of the country announced he was coming back to our country for a visit, and I offered for him to stay. Girlfriend has never met friend. We'll refer to him as Larry. However, Larry and I had Skypes, and girlfriend was often around and got to know Larry through me. Anyways, we were all excited. Fast forward, Larry arrives. Everything is well, but about 2 or 3 weeks into his stay, I became increasingly uncomfortable with the way Larry and my girlfriend would act together. I vented my feelings to my girlfriend, who assured me nothing was going on. And I didn't say anything to Larry. Eventually, Larry's little nuances got to me. We would have little feuds over nothing, and I asked Larry to move out and find somewhere else to stay. Cue some bitterness between Larry and I. Now, Larry left last weekend. He's gone. A few days back, I noticed my girlfriend's Facebook had some messages from Larry. When I asked my girlfriend about it, she quickly closed the window and told me it's nothing. Just Larry trying to get an idea as to why I was bitter at him. In my mind, I felt he was exceeding his boundaries as my friend, so I decided to cut him out. Girlfriend would scold me and call me a miserable person. We even had a little fight about it when I told my girlfriend I didn't want Larry to stay over the night before his flight. Girlfriend eventually apologized, but I was still disappointed that she didn't have my back or understand my feelings. Anyways, I should go back to the Facebook messages. Today I was just shutting down our PCs after the girlfriend had gone to bed, and my curiosity got the worst of me. I know this is bad, and opened up her Facebook. She was already logged in, and I noticed a message from Larry that was unread. I opened it and went through their conversation history, and this is where I wanted to throw up. Basically, they met up at least once behind my back when I was on a business trip, and wanted to coordinate another visit, but my girlfriend didn't feel it would work out. Larry replies that he needs to hold her again and misses her very much, calling her things like sweetie. I was livid. Words cannot describe how I felt reading that out. The combination of anger, despair, sadness, betrayal, and pure rage was too much for me to take. Girlfriend had also sent her a photo of a campfire from this weekend when we were together that she took and sent to Larry saying, "I miss you." God damn it. I confronted the girlfriend. Had to wake her up at 1 a.m. and ask her. At first she was sleepy and denied it all, but when I told her I had read her convo history and that I was sorry for violating her privacy but had to know why she was keeping this from me, things became clear in her mind that I was very hurt by all of this. I explained my feelings. I was hurt, betrayed. I housed this guy and showed him a good time for a month, and even after all of this, you told me I was the crazy one. Now my worst suspicions are true. My friend Larry is obviously cut from my life. Can't have toxic people like that around. But my girlfriend is another problem. I'm seriously head over heels in love with her and I don't want to lose her. On the other hand, my heart is torn and I have too much self-respect to continue dating her. She completely thrashed my trust into the ground, and what's worse is humiliated me by going after one of my friends that I let stay with me. I feel like I've fucked myself in a lot of ways, and that I should have seen this coming, but I was naive. Anyways, we both have to work tomorrow, but I'm seriously at a loss for words. Girlfriend and I have only spoken a bit. I mean, it's late at night. It's about 4:15 a.m. while I type this. I've gotten zero sleep tonight, even after driving around and bawling my eyes out in an empty parking lot. What she did tell me was that she didn't think I loved her anymore. That every time she would try to talk to me about something serious, I would make jokes and laugh it off. I know this isn't easy to hear, and I admit to being immature, but damn, I thought we were stronger than this. I guess the lesson has been learned. Regardless, I'm at a loss for words. I feel like us breaking up is inevitable, and it makes things so complicated seeing as I just bought this house about 10 months ago, and we shared a dog. She's even driving a car that I gave her. I know splitting things up won't be easy, and to be honest, I don't want her to go. But like I said, my brain is telling me this is what we need, yet my heart feels otherwise. Update. It's been almost 20 days since this all went down. I've had a lot of time to myself, and my job keeps me on the road, so I've had a few business trips in the meantime to keep me distracted. I'm so far enjoying my new lifestyle that I'm trying to build for myself. There is a lot of free time I have, and I'm enjoying having full control over my schedules and tasks that I do day to day. Being able to plan just for myself is alleviating, and I'm starting to look back and see all the flaws that were present in my past relationship that now I really see as red flags. Overall, I was pretty unhappy when I was with my ex. I'm recognizing that now. I bore with the unhappiness and kept going because I felt that this was what normal guys do in long-term relationships, the sunken cost theory. So, case in point, I didn't see any point to break things up. So from that point of view, I recognize I have some personal faults that I need to fix in order to consider myself healthy again. My ex didn't really have any of her own friends. This should have been another red flag. She was constantly around my friends, and being honest, I didn't really mind. But now that I see how broken that is for a person to lack any best friend or a group of people they saw before we got together and continued to be together. My friends have always been there for me, even the ones I knew before my ex. Granted, she's now on her own. I have no idea who she's talking to about this whole scenario, aside from her immediate family, and I don't really care. I've had the talk with the few mutual friends me and Larry had. Everyone's pretty much shocked, but they also told me that they had a feeling something was going on, but Larry would lie to them when they would ask. Larry has since tried to reach out to some of them and try to rectify the situation. But they've already heard the story from me first, so most of them have cut Larry out of their lives. But to be honest, I'm not very close with these people and don't plan on growing to be more close to them in the future. Larry was the only crux of our relationship, so if they do continue and associate with them, I would definitely not be happy and wouldn't mind cutting off contact with them as well. Larry is dead to me. We only talked briefly after I kicked my ex out, and it was mostly us cursing at one another. Very childish. Like I said, I knew I wouldn't get any closure out of talking to the guy and hearing him trying to explain himself. Larry and my ex are both very broken people. They blame others for their own unhappiness and feel it's justified when their behaviors cause others to become upset. Here's another kicker. My ex's sister, only 2 years older than her, did the exact same thing at the start of this year to her own husband, literally 3 days after we got back from their destination wedding. She met another guy at their wedding and decided this was the guy for her. Fucked him, still went through with the wedding, and afterwards everyone got back, broke it off with the dude. I didn't know the full story. And at the time we had just moved into our new home, so I invited her to stay with us until she got back on her feet. When she started seeing this new guy, I was really uneasy about it. This was also complicated because she was living here and didn't seem to have any plans to move out. I had to coach her sister on how to get a loan for a down payment, how to talk to landlords, etc., etc. Very immature family. This should have been another huge red flag, but I ignored it and had to deal with the consequences of it. I've actually reconnected with her ex-husband named Tim. Tim and I were friends throughout our relationships with these sisters, and I was sad to see Tim go the way he did. But I was on the sister side by association, so even if I felt things weren't right, there's nothing I could have done about it. In retrospect, I should have kicked both of these crazy bitches out and told them to go get a life. More about me. I'm hitting the gym, trying to eat healthy, having more one-on-one time with my dog bro, and overall just trying to take it easy. This is such a huge change in my lifestyle that it's not something I can adjust to quickly. And even though my work schedule has me flying somewhere new every week, it's really tough still managing everything and ensuring I'm not stressing myself out with my own expectations. I'm still used to having my ex-girlfriend's voice in my head telling me to rush home and be with her. I've been having a lot of dreams where I see her and Larry together. They're both tormenting me. I've had dreams where I murder Larry, crush his skull with a hammer, and run over his head with a truck. I feel bad about these dreams because even though I want revenge, I don't like causing pain to other human beings. It's not like I can't hurt him, but I've hurt others in the past, sports, and I never took pleasure in that, even though my teammates did at times. So it's just not in me, although I'd love to visit him in his home country and kidnap him and cue some torture. Those are just weird things I say to keep myself from going insane. I feel a lot of pain and guilt about what happened, and I shouldn't have to. This is a process, I know. I always go back and read the original thread I started when I'm feeling weak and want to text call the ex. I've held strong on the NC, but a few times I did message her. Once when I found a receipt from a couple's massage retreat when I was out of town on another occasion. I just wanted to let her know that I found another piece of evidence. Really, there was no point to this. I was just in pain and feeling weak. She lied through her teeth about everything, told me how she wanted me back, and how she wants to kill herself. It felt kind of good hearing that, but still it's a twisted feeling and I know I shouldn't be talking to her. She's toxic. She lies and has no problems deceiving me. I just feel like such a fool for spending so many years with her. And to top it off, the amount of humiliation I feel when I imagine her with Larry is just beyond this world. I used to have a lot of self-confidence, but now I feel like a literal piece of shit. I feel used, worthless, ready to be discarded. Almost as if I deserved this to happen sometimes. Other times I'll rebound from this and try to build myself up. The best times I feel is when I'm in the gym or running outside. Thinking about the two of them has fueled a few good sets for me, and I hope to continue taking advantage of this hate for a bit longer. All things considered, you're doing okay and holding your own. Don't stress too much. Everything's unfolding as it should. And it seems like you're handling it pretty well. It's tough to feel used and betrayed, but the key is to realize that you weren't the one cast aside. You were the one who decided to move on from a couple of individuals who couldn't keep up with you. Your future holds great things, and they simply couldn't keep pace. While it's unfortunate that it ended this way, look at the positive side. You'll eventually meet someone who's exactly what you need.